Welcome to this tutorial. On this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make a 6-panel door based on some standards and some drawings that I found on the internet, like this one. You can see here that a 6-panel door, a typical one, has certain dimensions, and you can follow these once you download something like this from the internet. We're going to use this as a source. So let's get started. We can change first the units to 1/16 of an inch in US standard in inches, and also click here, right click here, and find the grid. So the home grid, you're going to change the home grid, the grid spacing, to 1/16 of an inch, and we're going to use also that, you know, every 16th of them, or every inch, there will be another line, just for reference. This could be 10. On the front view, draw a square from splines that measures about 4 inches by 4 inches. Move to the left view and zoom in to see the grid spacing at 1/16 of an inch. We are going to draw a profile for the panels here. Right click on snaps, select grid points and grid lines. We'll snap to those points. Start the line anywhere here. Go to the right 2 squares, 1 down and in an angle. To the right 1 square. Go 2 to the right, 1 down, 1 to the right, 2 down, 2 to the right. Here you can go 1 down in an angle. From here count 4 squares to the right, click, then count 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and then go up about here, which is about 2 squares from the top. Click and then go up 2 squares and 1 to the right in an angle, and end. Right click to end, and exit snap. Now let's edit these nodes. Select fillet and select this one here. Pull it so that it becomes a curve in both cases. Exit fillet, and also let's weld these vertices so they become one. Alright, so we're done with this. So now on our square, we're going to add a modifier from the list here and go down and select sweep. The default on sweep is that it's going to use this angle here, but we want to use our custom section, which is this one. You click on here, custom section, click on pick, and then let's pick the section that we made. That one. The sweep we made using our profile gives us this image, but you can see here that the steps here were supposed to be on the outside. In other words, it's supposed to be reversed. Unclick the smooth section and the smooth path to make it all straight lines. Now we have to correct this, and I think it's up here at there. Mirror the image on XZ plane, and that will correct it. So now if you try to render this and you get this, then you want to apply another modifier called normal. Make sure this is clicked flip normal, so now if you render again you should see it. So that's fine. Now let's just collapse by right clicking here, collapse all, and make sure this is an editable poly. We're going to begin extending some of the parts that we need here. Select border and click on the edge outside. Now we need to pull this back by pressing Shift and clicking on the arrow and pull it back so that it's past the back of the profile itself. Now we will begin the process of creating the rest of the door. Notice here that we're going to start in this, expanding this in this center area from here to here. Notice that the style or the part in the center measured 3 inches. So let's go to the perspective view and select this edge and extrude that to 1.5 inches. We will mirror the image later so that it will turn out to be 3 inches wide. Alright, so we got that to this point. Next thing is we can expand the bottom here. The bottom measures also 3 inches, so we're going to extrude by half again, same dimension as here. You're going to type it again, you type 1.5, press enter, and you're okay. Now let's exit edit mode, and we will add a symmetry modifier from the modifier list. It's down here, see if you can see it. I click on symmetry, and here just make sure that when you click on mirror here, you will be able to drag by the handles and move it. In this case it needs to be flipped. Now you get a real close-up of the center piece of this to make sure that you actually put them together. If you leave a gap, you're going to have problems. I mean, you go too far over, you're also not going to have your 3 inches, you're going to have less, but that's all you need to do here. At this point, let's collapse this again so it's one piece. Make sure it's a editable poly. And now all we have to do is make another symmetry, add another symmetry modifier. Make sure it's on Y. Select this here and grab the handles to pull it. Again, make sure you're not going over or under too much. I had problems before when I left a gap or I went too far. So that's it for this part. We can also collapse this again. We're done. The next thing here is to mirror one more time on the y-axis again. Make sure when you pull down here that you create a panel like the rest of the panels by closing in and making the center lines disappear. And one more time we can collapse this to make it one piece. If you prefer, you can move the pivot lines to the center of the object by selecting hierarchy and selecting these two boxes. All that is left to do now is to expand the rest of the door by extruding the edges or the sides of the door. So we'll start with the top here. Select these faces and let me look. We need, that's 6 inches. Right. And now we need to do the bottom. Select the bottom pieces and extrude. Let's see, it's 10 inches. The bottom is 10. So we'll extrude by 10 inches. From here on, you can expand the rest of the size of the door and also the size of the panels themselves by using some rectangles as reference, as I am going to do now. I will speed up a little bit the process to size all these panels. Now let's see, the height of the door is 84 inches. And they should measure pretty much 84 inches, and it does. There we go. Next thing is the width of these panels. This is 10.5 and there's 6 inches on the side. So I think what we'll do first is we're going to extend the size to 6 inches here first. So let's select the left hand side. Maybe if we go press shift and select all around, then we can deselect the top and bottom. So press Alt, I think, and then it deselects what you select. Now we have both of them, and we're going to extrude for about I believe it's 6 inches. Make sure it's group. Let me look. Yeah, it's 6 inches. Right. So say OK. So now I'm going to speed up the process a little bit again, so we can finalize the sizing of these panels again. Now let's check for the width of the door. That's 36 inches. We'll make this 36 and see if the door is about that size. Pretty good. Next thing we want to do is select the item, and then let's add a modifier here that's called cap holes. That fills in all these spaces in the back. And this is only half a door. You can use symmetry to do the back of the door as well, but if you're going to see only one side of the door on your renderings, this is all you need. So here's the detail. It looks pretty good. To give the door some strength, we're going to add these lines. We're going to add a line here. Select the edges of this side here first, and this one too. And if you add one segment and move it very close to the center here, or you pinch so that it's left with maybe an 1/8 of an inch or a 1/16 of an inch, whatever you want. Since we want to see it a little bit of a distance, so you have to give it a little more, maybe an 1/8 of an inch. Now select these faces here. Alright, now all we have to do is extrude this by 1/16 of an inch, or maybe 1/8, depending on how much you want to see from the distance, and then we can try to render to see if we can see the lines, and we can. That's very nice. So basically that's it for the door. You can add the effects later, such as door knobs, latches, and a good lighting. Lighting has a lot to do with the quality of this work. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe if you wish to. Bye.